2025, March 6, Thursday. Build strength. Pause of military aid to Ukraine. Comment on Taiwan hinted Trump's deal-making. U.S. President Donald Trump reportedly ordered a pause to all U.S. military aid to Ukraine. The move comes just days after an argument at the Oval Office meeting in which Trump and U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance upbraided Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky for being insufficiently grateful for Washington's backing. Pausing aid is a step to pressure Zelensky into accepting Trump's plan to end the Ukraine war through peace negotiation with Russia. Washington is also said to be drawing up a plan to potentially give Russia, which invaded Ukrainian territory, sanctions relief. Ukraine is being driven to sign a deal by which it would cede part of its land to Russia and give the U.S. access to its deposits of rare earth minerals in return for aid already sent to Ukraine, but likely without the assurance of a U.S. security guarantee. Meanwhile, Trump said Monday that a Chinese invasion of Taiwan would be catastrophic. He made remarks at the White House announcement of chip-making giant Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Corporation's plan to invest $100 billion to expand its U.S. manufacturing operations. His words contrast with what he had said just days prior when asked by a reporter whether he would ensure that China never takes Taiwan by force during his presidency. He declined to give a definitive answer. I never comment on that. This incident hints at Trump's view of international relations in the context of deal-making. The U.S. under Trump is not the U.S. we have known. Its status as the leader of the free world that it has maintained for the 80 years since the end of World War II will likely now be nowhere in sight, at least for the 4 years to 2029. Though South Korea cannot be compared with Ukraine on the same footing, it's hard to ignore Trump's solution to the situation in Ukraine. If the war in Ukraine is over, the U.S. will likely shift the focus of its security policy to Asia. Considering Washington's strategic goal of containing China, there is little prospect of the U.S. withdrawing from Northeast Asia immediately, but some Korea experts in the U.S. forecast Washington will likely adjust the major role of U.S. forces in South Korea to focus on China. Then the South Korean military will likely be required to take charge of defense against conventional warfare, except for reining in North Korea's nuclear weapons program. Seoul should not exclude the possibility of an attempt by Trump to strike a deal directly with his North Korean and Russian counterparts and declare the Korean War over, freeze North Korea's nuclear arsenal, and give Pyongyang sanctions relief. Considering the recently closer Pyongyang-Moscow relations, South Korea needs to prepare for Russia's possible influence on North Korea if the North comes to the negotiating table. In view of the Trump's transactional style, it is likely Washington will demand South Seoul increase its share in paying the cost of stationing U.S. forces in Korea. South Korea should seek opportunities to beef up its U.S. alliance. One of its bargaining chips rise in shipbuilding cooperation. The U.S. has alluded to the necessity of South Korea's cooperation in building U.S. warships, apparently to catch up with China in military shipbuilding. South Korea's Minister of Trade, Industry and Energy An Deok-gun recently visited Washington and presented ways for Korean shipbuilders to supply warships, liquefied natural gas tankers, and icebreakers to the U.S. preferentially. U.S. officials are said to have responded positively. South Korea is an important ally for the U.S. in its efforts to hold China in check. So far, as Trump needs security and economic cooperation with South Korea, the country would have opportunities to strengthen its U.S. alliance. And yet, it has to brace for the worst-case scenario as well, because a value-based alliance is on the verge of disintegration. To survive and protect its national interests amid these changes, It has to build its own strength. When it comes to protecting ourselves, all options, including nuclear deterrence, should be considered.